Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host Justin P and my MVP, billion-dollar co-host Miss Shannon Fitch. This is episode 132, 133. I'm sorry, 133. For the YouTube version, for the audio version, season two, episode 33. Like I said, you can check that right below in the description. And right under that, as always, myself, Dave, and Shannon's social media platforms. Like I said, every show I have everything. Shannon, Facebook, Twitter, IG, David, Facebook, and IG. Last week they did a great job doing the preview. A hell of a job. I wasn't able to attend. Like Shannon said, my allergies got the best of me. They didn't, and they you know, feel better, big fella. We start off every show for us to preview with our coaching matchups. So the first one, we're going with the head coaches, Todd Bowles, John Harbaugh, who has the edge on this Monday night game. Both are Super Bowl champion coaches, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to John Harbaugh. I mean, longevity, dealing with different core players, star players, winning and still contending over the years. I do think Todd Bowles is a solid coach. This is his second chance at being a head coach. It's been going a lot better than with the Jets. I mean, the Jets are a crazy organization, so I don't necessarily know that we'll put that on him. But since he's been in Tampa Bay, they've been contenders. They've been contending for that division, even though it's not a tough division. It's not his problem. They played well on both sides of the ball. But I'm still going to give the edge to John Harbaugh just based off longevity alone.
Yeah, definitely. Much as it might get on John Harbaugh, it's definitely Harbaugh because, like you said, longevity and the current success too. Like now offense is top in the league. And then, like I said, we were 0-2. We won four straight. So obviously, Harbaugh had to make some type of changes. So
Hmm.
Harbaugh is a great defensive mind. Like you said, the Jets are just a shit show. So, but he was, ever since he's been in Tampa, things been worked out because his defense was the big reason why they won the Super Bowl. They held Patrick Mahomes at 9 points. That's not easy to
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
But in particular, I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with the offensive coordinators. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
We got Liam Cohen for the Bucks offensive coordinator. We got our guy Todd Drunken Monken. Who has the
um, I kind of went back and forth with this one. I'm going to give the edge to Monken, just off the strength of having an MVP quarterback last season. I feel like I've seen the improvement this year, even through 6 weeks of the offense being better, in my opinion, than what it was last year. But I also understand that Liam comes from the Sean McVay coaching tree. He's had a lot of success there in Tampa, particularly working with Baker. They're playing pretty well this season as well. But I'm still going to give the edge to Monken.
I'm gonna definitely give it to Todd Monken as well. Like I said, since he's been here, the offense has looked a lot better, a little more dynamic, more versatile. And like you said, Lamar Jackson at quarterback versus Baker Mayfield. Enough said. It's
Hmm.
crazy. These two guys, man, same draft class. One of them was taken first overall. The other one
Hmm.
was taken first round. That's crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, it's definitely Todd Monken for sure. All right, defensive coordinators. So Todd Monken calls their defense. So we gotta go Todd Monken versus Zach Moore. Who has the
Oh,
edge?
Tall Bowles. Um, yeah, I'll give it to Todd. He has the edge. No doubt about that.
Yeah, that goes for
Not
us.
even, I wouldn't even say an edge. Like he leaps and bounds ahead of Zach Moore at this point of his career.
Yeah, because when Todd Bowl got the Jets job, Zach Orr still was in a Ravens uniform. So you know,
Right.
experience alone, like I say, he won a Super Bowl. So yeah, it's Todd Bowl, and this is our last slide. No, no disrespect to Orr, but this is his.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got the coaching matchups done. Now, position matchups, the quarterbacks, the signal call. Like I said, two guys. They were in the same draft class. They were in the same division for 4 years. So who has the match? Who has the advantages in this matchup? Lamar Jackson or Baker, Shaker, Mayfield?
I mean, Lamar. And I've been a fan of Baker Mayfield since college. I didn't like some of his antics when he was with the Browns. How he acted when he was there, particularly towards Hugh Jackson. But I feel like he's had like a resurgence, and I like to see guys be able to redeem themselves. He's been able to do that with Tampa. So I'm happy for him in that sense. But in this case, it's Lamar all the way.
It's Lamar. Baker just now starting to get it together. And he turns the ball over way too fucking much. They won. They put up 51 points last week, but he threw three interceptions.
Hmm.
That could have been 51, but had the Saints been a little bit better. You throw three interceptions against us, that's at least 21 points on the ball, at least 17. So it's Lamar in the landslide, the two-time MVP.
Hmm.
So the running backs, I don't know if Rashad White's playing tonight, playing Thursday, Monday night. But you got Bucky Irvin, and I forgot the Chase Edmonds. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and now Rasheen Ali is, but who has the edge in the running back?
Ravens. I mean, we say the same thing every week when it comes to this group. You got Derrick Henry in the group, you're going to be better than a whole lot of other running back cores. So I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, Raven, like you said, we're gonna be better than 95, 99, 98% of the league. It's only like two. It's only we ain't playing San Francisco or a
And,
healthy
and McCaffrey not even playing. So,
Browns with Chubb. That's it. It's like it's Derrick Henry. Like
hmm.
now this is good dicey. Now wide receivers and tight ends. Who has the edge? The Bucks with Mike Evans, Godwin, and Cade Otton, Trey Palmer. Our guys, Zay Flowers, Bateman, who's been coming along, Aguilar, Tyler Wallace. Our three-hitter monster tight end, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kolar, Martin, who has the edge in the pass catchers.
This was tough for me to call. Like for everything you just said, like when you name the Ravens, you named everybody who gets involved offensively, even down to the three tight ends all contributing. And in that sense, you might look at it and say, well, the Ravens have more people that can contribute offensively in the passing game. But I feel like when you have wide receivers like we have a wide receiver like Mike Evans, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's no doubt about that. Chris Godwin is a beast as well. When you have two guys like that as pass catchers, elite pass catchers who show up week in and week out, it's kind of hard to pick against them. But I'm gonna go Bucks with this one. I just feel like having those two guys sets them above the Ravens core, and it's more or less because of consistency.
I gotta go with the Bucks. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, like them two can get you 100 apiece or 200 apiece, as we seen.
Hmm.
Mark Andrews and guys definitely make it a lot closer, but as far as it's just like that body of work they've done, it just speaks for itself. So
Hmm.
the Bucks by a slight margin. All right, the offensive line for the Bucks, you got Trenton Wirfs, All-Pro player, Ben Bredesen, a former Raven and Michigan Wolverine,
Hmm.
Graham Barton, questionable kid out of Duke, Cody Mach, and Luke Geodick and Dyke, whatever. Excuse me, I'm probably fucked that up.
Hmm.
The Ravens, Ronnie Stanley, Pat McCarr. I think he's been out. Tyler Linderbaum, Daniel Farley, and Roger Rosengarten. Who has the edge in the offensive line?
This was another tough one for me. Because Tristan, he's a beast. Like I don't think anybody would doubt that you could put him up there as the best tackle in the league, if not the best, definitely top three. Um, And looking at the rankings, I mean, we're above them a little bit, but they're like they were like one or two behind us. So I mean, they're not far off. And I from what I've seen, they've been protecting Baker pretty well so far this season. And I feel like the Ravens have figured it out. I mean, we complained about it the first 2 weeks. Week three, it was so kind of shaky, in the fourth quarter. But overall, I think over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a huge improvement from that group. So it's really hard for me to say who has the edge. So for offensive line, I'm going to call it a tie for those two groups.
I must say the slight edge to the Ravens because we can run the football. The Bucks can't. Although they rush for
Sure, they
140,
ran it. Like I want to say, they ran it last week.
yeah, that's more so the Saints just being the fucking Saints. Because the previous week before that, the running backs didn't do this. We have been doing this to every team besides the Chiefs, and we were gashing them. We just didn't stick with it. So every team we played, Derrick Henry has had rushing touchdowns, and each week his yards went up. So that speaks for itself. So it's the offensive line contributes to that, even with their struggles. So I'm gonna get the slight edge to the Ravens. All right, now
Hmm.
on to the defensive side of the ball. Both teams play a 3-4 defense. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna do the outside guys that rush it, and along with the interior guys for both teams. So the Bucks, you got Kalijah Kancey, got a Pittsburgh like Aaron Donald clone, Vita Vea, B Super Bowl champion, Logan Hall. You got Yaya Diaby, KJ Britt, who replaced Devin White, Levante David, and Joe Tryon Shainka. Shainka,
Hmm.
I always like that name. Shainka. Ravens, Adafi Owe, David Ajabo, just Namdi Matabike, Michael Pierce, Roger Washington, Brent Irvin, Travis Jones, Tavius Robinson, some Malik Harrison, Yannick Ngaoue. Who has the edge in the defensive line as a whole?
Um, I'm gonna go Ravens on this one. I just feel like we have a little bit more depth. But that doesn't take anything away from the Bucks at all. I think Vita's he's nice, you
Okay.
know. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Ravens for depth purposes.
Ravens as well, depth purposes, and we just led the league in sacks, and we're still up there. Van Noy and guys getting it in, doing it. I forgot Kyle Van Noy too. That was good. But I think we're gonna finish top five in sacks again. We might not lead the league, but I think we're gonna finish top five. And I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
we're gonna be made before next week. You know how DeCosta is with that trade deadline. So I think he got something.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's the Ravens by a slight margin. Now the run hit cover guys, the stand up, all ball linebackers. Like I said, Devontae David and KJ Britt. For us, you got Trenton Simpson, Roquan Smith, and Malik Harrison. West Edge.
I'm gonna go Ravens. Same way I feel about the running backs is the way I feel about our linebackers. It's not too many groups that's gonna be better than when you have a guy like Roquan out there. So I'm gonna give it to the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens, Roquan, Trenton Simpson, man, that duo been good. Vontae Davis a beast, Hall of Famer.
Hmm.
Okay, I feel like Devin White was much better. I guess he had I know he was on pivot. Him and Jason Light just didn't see eye to eye on the contract. But I think if they still had him, I would give the edge to the Bucks because them two won the Super Bowl and all that.
Hmm.
But with him, going with the Ravens. All right, now a secondary as a whole, our corners and our safeties together. For the Bucks, you have Jamel Dean, Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Winfield Jr., Zion McCullum, Tyreek Smith, Keith Smith, and Taviar Thomas and Josh Hayes. Ravens, Jalen Alman Davis, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Marcus Williams, who've been spotty this year, Kyle Hamilton, Darius Washington, so forth, so forth. Who has the edge in the back end?
I'm gonna go Ravens. I mean, even though we've complained about our safety play for the most part and a little bit of the cornerbacks, I still feel like that group is one of the better groups in the league. Just gotta still figure it out. So I haven't given up hope on them yet. So I'm gonna go Ravens.
Yeah, definitely, Ravens. Like I said, I think our passing defense is more so a testament to
Same.
how no a that too the testament how good our run defense is.
Oh.
It's like you ain't great run, you ain't gonna keep running to a brick wall, so you gotta chuck it. Especially if we get a lead on, you gotta chuck it. But if you let us get up on it, we're gonna pound the rock and get out and wear you down. So the team's got to chuck it. So some of them yards can be misleading. Well, it is some blowing sounds back there, but it's definitely us because the Jamel Dean, their best corner, he will probably be our third corner.
Hmm.
third corner, Nick Wiggins will be their best corner. So that tells you everything you need to know. The
And
safeties,
also, and I also saw someone make this point on Twitter, and I was like, that's a fair point. Talking about the amount of passing yards we've given up through 6 weeks, and we're obviously at the bottom of the league in that regard. But they were talking about the quarterbacks that we've played against. And I've been saying that myself when we talked about the teams we've played through 6 weeks, like me feeling like nobody's had a tougher stretch than we've had. And when you look at the quarterbacks we've played against and the weapons that they have, each individual team, I mean, it's not surprising when you look at where we are at the bottom of the league because those are passing quarterbacks. Even when you think about like that Dallas game, they were in situations where they had to pass because they were trying to come back. Same thing with the Raiders, so it's like, how I always say context matters. So as hard as we want to be on them, and I still think they need to improve, it's still okay to admit they've played against some really great quarterbacks and great wide receivers over these past 6 weeks.
yeah, because the team got to gain yards some way somehow. We're not going to hold
Right,
nobody yards, so
right.
definitely give the edge to us. Now, our special teams, the Bucks. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
All right, the kicker Chase McLaughlin, the punter Jake Commodore. I'm gonna just pronounce how I say it spelled. Kick returner Bucky Irvin, running back from Oregon, had a hell of a game. Against the Saints. Punt
Hmm.
return Greg Palmer, and then long snapper Zach Triner. Ravens, Nick Moore, Justin Tucker, Jordan Stout,
Hmm.
you know, some Colin Wallace. Who else there is in the special team? What's up, Mark?
I'm gonna go Ravens. I'll say Ravens. Same way I feel about the running backs and linebackers. It's hard for me to pick against the Ravens special teams when you have a guy like Justin Tucker out there. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens, and I like Jordan Stout. And we've talked about special teams as well. Them being part of the issue through some of these games. They didn't help us out in some games, but they've also helped us in some games. So I'm still gonna go Ravens.
Uh, yeah, Ravens for sure. For Justin Tucker and those guys previously, and the Bucks guys are not. It's just that simple.
Hmm.
Now, all right, on to our first topic of tonight.
Hmm.
Uh, the Ravens activate Yannick and Ngaoue to defeat the three-man roster. Give me a thought, Shannon.
I think it made sense. When you look at around the league and all the different injuries that different teams have, somebody would have tried to probably take him off our practice squad if we wouldn't have activated him to the roster. So I think it made sense, and it can't hurt to have more bodies up front for the rotation.
Michael, everything you just said, and like because fourth quarter guys be tired, and you gotta have first leg, and like I said, now another threat coming up the edge. Now teams just can't just game plan for Cal Van Noy, Owe, and Jabo and
Hmm.
Tavis Robinson. Now Yannick, he's been better used now with Orr than he did with Wing for whatever reason. I don't know.
Hmm.
He made an impact instantly, getting pressure and having a sack and a half. So yes, it was definitely needed. So yeah, I love the movie.
Hmm.
The second topic. Yep, I ask this every week. How will Todd Monken attack the Bucks defense?
Um, like the Ravens, I saw that the Bucks were close to the bottom of the league in pass defense. They're a little bit better than the Ravens, but they're only a couple of spots above. And they have like a top 11 run defense. I feel like it needs to be a game plan similar to what we did against the Commanders. I feel like against the Commanders, we came out passing. We didn't wait to be put in must pass situations to do so. And we still ran the ball. So I just feel like you need to take advantage of the mismatches in the passing game, and open things up. I think that should be the mindset going into that game. Still be balanced, but feature your wide receivers and tight ends.
Yeah, because for sure teams are going to put 9, 10 in the box to stop the king. And let's get one on one to Zay. And Zay wanted his one on ones. Bateman wanted his one on ones. And
Hmm.
Amar has confidence in Bateman now. So, like he's building that trust with him. So
Hmm.
He's getting involved, like he's getting involved now. Kolar's now getting involved. The O line now has finally found their footing. So that's the best way. They just keep spreading it around. You keep using screens and pick pops and in the rounds and jet sweeps. Get the ball in Aguilar too, because he can make some big plays and big catches. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's how they're gonna take one, just spreading around and just mixing up the play call. All right. How will Zach Orr defend the Bucks' high-powered, high-octane offense?
Um, Of course, I think we're going to, go in to look to stop the run. That's a given at this point, just based on the identity of what this defense is going to be or has been. But I do feel like it could be a potential long day for the offense because, I'm sorry, for the defense because the Bucks offense can put up points. They can move the ball down the field. Like it kind of puts me in the same mindset of when we played against the Bengals, having two wide receivers that you have to keep your eye on. I think the best thing to do is kind of what you were talking about on Tuesday. Have the bend don't break mentality. Keep everything in front of you. At least try to do that, and just keep them out of the end zone. And if you get opportunities to get an interception, capitalize off that. I mean, a lot of the times the ball is almost hitting them in their hands, and they just aren't bringing it in. But that's why their cornerbacks are not wide receivers. But I do think that we need to just try to keep stop the run obviously, but keep everything in front of us, not to give up any big impact plays.
Yeah, everything you just said, and then like I said before, Marlon Humphrey need to be on Mike Evans at all times. If there's some certain situations where Brandon Stevens got to play him, that's fine. But 90% of the game, Marlon Humphrey should be on him. The best should be on the best at all times.
Hmm.
What's the name? Brandon Stevens, put him on Godwin, and then have somebody shade over the top. And then Nick Wiggins, he can handle Trey Palmer or Jalen McMillan. They all rookies. He's a rookie, them two are rookies. So it's even. And Cade Otten, had Kyle Hamilton, foul however he go, if you're flexible
Hmm.
like that, to beat and bang on him. Like you said,
Hmm.
we stop the run with them big boys up front. Michael Pierce is playing great. It's like nobody's talking about it because it's not, flashy numbers and all that. He's
Hmm.
all everything up. He's getting tackles in the backfield, pushing the pocket. He even got a sack or two, I think. Like them getting Travis Jones too, them guys and turning people around, kicking ass up there. That's why teams can't run the ball. Teams can't run the ball for a reason because of them two.
Hmm.
And then Brett Urban coming in and spelling. So yeah, we're gonna play some man to man, keep everything in front of us, and then we're gonna get Baker because Baker's prone to turn the football over. I wouldn't be surprised if Baker threw three picks somewhere.
I hope so.
I kind of just alluded to this, but I'll let you still say it too. Who should cover Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
In my opinion, it needs to be similar to the mindset of what I said against Jamal Chase and T. Higgins. I feel like it needs to be a collective effort. But if they are going to do a lot of man to man, I think it needs to be like you said. Like, there's no reason why you should have Brandon Stevens or Mike Evans. And I was listening to the radio earlier, and I was like, when I heard them say this, I'm like, are they joking? Like, I don't know if they were being sarcastic or not, but they said that Brandon Stevens is our number one cornerback. And I'm like, why would he be? Like, what? I was just a little, I think they were saying that because a lot of the times we watch games, we see him ending up on the best wide receiver on the other team. And I think that this might just end up being like that on that particular play. But I don't think that the Ravens look at him as CB1. I
Could
don't
be
think so.
some point.
Uh, but I do think that what could help out the secondary is a good pass rush. And I saw and we talked about adding Yannick and having him around and having him being more active and what that'll do. But I also heard Kyle Van Noy say that like he was doing some self scouting himself to see what teams have been doing different to him for the past couple of weeks because he hasn't been getting in on the sacks and things like that. So I think that that can only help us. And like I think that a good pass rush can help a bad secondary. So if we can get to Baker and get to the point where he can't even get the ball to them, that'll help them out a lot more of trying to cover those guys. But I still think it needs to be a collective effort. But if you are going to go man to man, it needs to be like what you said.
Uh,
Humphrey on Mike Evans, have a little shadow over Stevens with Godwin, and you put Wiggins out there in the mix to get whoever be their third wide receiver out there.
Either Trey Palmer or Jalen McMillan, either one of them two. But, all I'm gonna say is I already told you how it's about just to elaborate some things. The Marlon Humphrey hate is fucking real. It's sad. It's
Yeah,
like the boy say some crazy shit on Twitter. I get it. He be on this podcast. I get it. I get it. But let's not fucking act stupid. Like this man,
no,
not help when he's healthy. He's not an all pro. Like I
yeah,
said,
all
get
pro Marlon.
rhetoric is sometimes crazy, but let's not let that cloud our mind. The boy, he on the football field, he's healthy. When he's healthy, he barely gives up anything.
Hmm.
He's smart. He's always making a play, punching it out, pick. Like people just like I hear people tell people to act like man
Sure,
Grant.
we don't win that Bengals game without him, without
Yeah,
that interception.
he took a risk. He said, "Nah." I told Zach, "Oh, I'm playing Jamal Chase man to man." And
Hmm.
jump,
And
boy,
that's what you want from your best players
yeah, like
in
he
those moments.
make big plays like the Patriots game. They were driving. Remember, 2019. Did they say it's Thursday? So I'm gonna throw back a little bit. Right there on the spot, scoop and score. Punch out fumbles against Seattle. Like the boy always made big plays at the right time. Like you know,
Yeah,
like
people gotta relax.
Marlon Humphrey, this line that got to stop. Like Jesus Christ. But anyway, all right, time for our over under stat lines.
Hmm.
Let's go. Lamar Jackson, 275 yards total. Over under.
I'm gonna say over. Lamar's been getting pretty busy in recent weeks with his yards, so I'm gonna say he passes for about 250 and runs for 55.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go 275 in the air and 50 on the ground. So basically, almost like 330 because he's been getting almost four and up, close to four and up. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
go 275 in the air, 50 on the ground. Derrick Henry, 105 yards rushing over under.
105. I will say under and say 90.
Okay, all right, okay. I mean, Vita Vea
I
is
got
good.
I respect for I got a lot of respect for that front.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Bowles is a good defensive coordinator, defensive coach slash coordinator. So, yeah, because right
So
now
they're gonna
he
go in with the mindset of trying to limit the run game.
not for sure, but I'm gonna give him slightly over at 110. All right, Zay Flowers, 65 yards, receiving over under.
I'm gonna say over and say 90.
I'm gonna go over and go 105. Three straight 100-yard games for the young boy.
Ooh.
Bateman, I'm gonna put his line a little higher since he's been traditional. I'm gonna go 35 yards
Oh
over.
my God.
I'm just saying, Shan,
30.
two games ain't really make me like
I get it. I get it.
it's like and like we just so happy that he ain't hurt by now and he actually contributed. So our expectations are a little lower than what they should be.
So what was your number? You said 35?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna give him about 37.
How much did you say a number? Because it cut
Yeah,
out.
I did. I said 37.
Oh, okay, damn, okay. I'm being nicer than you. I'm gonna give him 65 yards.
So why you make it so low then?
You got to with him. The way, because if you get lower than your lowest, it's like that's a problem. All right, last one for offense. Andrews and likely combined together. Let's go 100 yards even over under.
Say over and say like 110.
I'm gonna go smack dab at 160 for Andrews, 40 for Likely. Good push. All right, now to defense. Total team sacks. Let's start the line at 2 over under.
I'll say over and say 3.
I'm gonna go over and go 4 because Baker holds the ball over. We can, and like I said, we got to get one because he's gonna want to try to make a play downfield.
Hmm.
Total team interceptions is Baker Mayfield. So I'm starting the line at two. Over or under.
I'll stay at two. I'll say two.
I'm going four because he threw three last week. I
But
think.
he didn't have many, but he only had two interceptions before last week, though, right?
Yeah, something. I'm not sure, but he threw three last week. The Saints just didn't capitalize. But I got him getting picked up a couple times. So I'm going four. All right, last one. Total combined tackles. So Roquan and Trenton Simpson. Let's go 16. Over under.
I'll go over and say 17.
All right, I'll go over and say 18. 10 for Rowe, 8 for Trenton. All right, now our three keys to victory, Shannon.
um, I think we need to continue being balanced offensively. I mean, what I've heard all week, and we even talked about it on Tuesday, some of our best games is when everybody can get involved. So
Mm-hmm.
when you can run the ball effectively and the passing game is being effective, everybody's working. I feel like that's a great day. So let's have a balanced offense. Defensively, let's make Baker Mayfield uncomfortable. Um, like I said earlier, I feel like a great front can mask a bad secondary. So let's do a lot up front to not make it easy for Baker and get interceptions. Like I said, I said this earlier as well. I feel like the defense have been in positions to get interceptions, but they've just dropped them. And that's why their cornerbacks are not wide receivers. But those are three keys I think that we can do to win the game.
And elaborate on that, like Bob Scott says, smack that bitch in the mouth. Smack Baker in his mouth. Fuck him. They can do his progressive commercial.
Yeah, yeah, too.
Anyway, like I said, mine's always stay the same. For the I don't know why. Protect the football. No turnovers last week. Besides the one, so, miscommunication with Lamar Andrews. Uh, turn the football over, which that gives your offense more, possessions, of course. And three, we've been doing this a lot lately. Scoring more touchdowns and kicking field goals.
Hmm.
We have need to call on Tuck a lot to bail us up with field goals. So that's a great thing. Hopefully we can keep doing it. So
Hmm.
stay the same. Now, our score prediction. Who wins the game and what's the score?
Earlier, and I hate when people do this because when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, oh, they're gonna jinx us. I heard on the radio earlier that the Ravens haven't lost to the Bucks since 2002,
Yeah, 25 to nothing.
which I was like, wow. And they
Yeah.
said that was the last shutout as well. The Ravens haven't been shut
Derek
out in
Brooks,
a game
Brooks had
since
a
then.
Derek Brooks had a pick six. That's the year the Bucks won their first Super Bowl. I was
I
at that
know.
game. To get it. He had a pick six. Chris Redman tried to hit tall heap. He picked it up, ran it back. But anyway, yeah.
So when I heard that on the radio, I was like, oh my goodness. Like it made me feel like that's a jinx. That's the reason why we're gonna lose the game. But I'm gonna stick with my original thought and I'm gonna say Ravens 31-24. I do think the Bucks will be able to score and put points on the board. It might not look as close as it ends up being in the end. But I could see them scoring a late touchdown or kicking a field goal to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna go 31-24 Ravens.
You want me the 7 point game? I'm going 14. I'm going 35-20. Like I said, because they are like Kirk Cousins picked them apart 500 yards. I
Hmm.
think for enough points, Mike Evans might get a TD. Godwin, they might run for one. But then I think our defense is going to overall keep them, make plays and get them on the field. I just think we're going to score every time we get that motherfucker. So,
Hmm.
all right, everybody, that's it.
That's
Tonight's show.
how I was saying. That's how it looked. That's how it's been the past couple of weeks. I ain't
Yeah.
been this confident in the offense since 2019.
That's why I said we might need to just, if the offense will score 35, I'm okay with giving up 21, 24. No problem. Because the defense have always had to been the one to save it. Why not the offense this time? Why,
Hmm.
especially when your best player is the quarterback. Oh, everyone, that's it for tonight's show. Great show. I'm glad you're back on a preview. So Shannon, go ahead, say your closing remarks.
I actually got two other questions from for you that I saw, and I was like, these are two interesting things. So the first thing is this: you saw that Jamal Adams requested a trade, right? They said they're going to
You said
honor
what?
his request. Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams or Jamal Chase?
Jamal from the
Oh,
the
Jamal
Titans,
Adams for the
the
Titans.
safety.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said okay. I thought you said Jamar. I said Jamal. Jamal.
No, Jamal Adams. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
My man, Presidential Mall. Yeah.
so I heard someone say, what do we think about signing him or trading for him, getting him one way or another, having him play close to the line and moving Kyle Hamilton back, being further back in the secondary. Would you want to make a move like that, adding Jamal Adams?
Yeah, because Jamal Adams going for one, he's gonna knock the shit out you. That's just one thing about him. That's why he's all pro before he got that little injury. And his ball skills are definitely better than what people give credit for. For sure, that wouldn't be a bad move at all. And like I said, Kyle Hamilton 6'4", 6'5" frame with his cleats on back there, covering more ground. So yeah, and then he ain't gonna cost much, so I wouldn't mind that, bro.
So then my second hypothetical is, and I saw this on Twitter. If you were Eric DaCosta, would you rather, or even as a fan, would you rather trade lower round picks for a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins? Or would you rather give up two first round picks for a guy like Max Crosby?
Trade the lower picks and get DeAndre Hopkins. I don't
I
know, man,
agree.
that'd be nice, but that's a steep price. And then you gotta
It
see if you
is.
want your scheme and all that. Whereas the D Hop, he gonna get up and catch the ball. He gonna block.
Mm-hmm.
That's simple. And like I said, man, Bateman still has to show us consistently he's going to do this. He's having a few okay games. It's like we can't just be like, oh shit,
Right, we're good, right.
he's done. Nah, like, cause now I say because he can go right back to having that one catch. Like nah. So yeah, DeAndre Hopkins for sure. Because like I said, in the
Yeah.
playoffs, these guys who tested and been there.
And I agree with you on both. I will be okay with adding Adams because I feel like that could change up things defensively and probably help out like what we've been talking about needing in our secondary. And I just feel like Kyle Hamilton might be more effective in a back, even though he's effective up there as well. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. Like he can do a lot. We really aren't using him like we used him last year, but that's another story for another day. And
Fact.
as far as DeAndre Hopkins or Max Crosby, I couldn't I couldn't give up two first round picks. Like it would have to be a for sure type of thing. And I just feel like adding D Hop would be more beneficial to our team than adding Max Crosby because not that we can't be better on defense, but I feel like D Hop would just set us over the top offensively.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to need because we just held the Chiefs to 17 points. It's like what like
Hmm.
we're going to keep trying to want to win 17, 14 every like come on, nah, dog.
Hmm. And like I mentioned Tuesday, when you look at what your peers, the moves your peers are making, we gonna have to make moves too.
Yeah, and you see what everybody traded for receivers.
Yeah.
See, 'cause they
So if
feel
I'm
like
talking to the Titans, that's what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about DeAndre Hopkins.
at the end of the day, you're going to give up points. Nobody's getting held to zero like that. Just especially with the rule changes and how it's just. So I'd rather go and win 35 to 21 than to lose 17-10.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. Cause those games really be seeming like winnable games. Like, oh, we could have won that.
Yeah, just get a few stops when you need them, and still be able to score. So that's what I say. It's just that's how the new NFL is.
Hmm.
Versus you stop and saying we can't really consistently score. Nah, dawg, we done been through that for 20 some years. Nah, it's just time. Like I said, Miles, I bet he's getting paid 50 something for a reason. Let him win the football game. So the defense just do what they do. Be a optimistic defense.
Yep. But that's all I got.
All I gotta say is, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in as always. Like, subscribe. Listen to the audio version if you couldn't watch live. Follow us on our social media platform. Like I said, if it's something y'all feel like we should be talking about, whether it's trade rumors, personnel, coaching, front office, whatever, send us, a message on one of our platforms. We'll, do our best to include it in the show. Like I said, David, hope we feel better.
Definitely.
We can get our trio back together on our preview. It's been 2 weeks now, probably a little longer.
Mhm.
We
We've
gotta
been
get our
busy.
I want to say everybody enjoy the Thursday night game, Broncos Saints. Go check out man Mari's show. That's the day he finally was available. He was bad ass, so he was able to do our show. We did our predictions for this week and recap week 6 games. So we're gonna be back Tuesday, me and Shannon, to recap. God willing, recap the week 7 Monday night game. It is right after that too, so it's been fresh on,
Hmm.
fresh into it. So when a lot we show up, we don't duck. So yeah,
I like that.
we don't duck no smoke. I'm about to say, make sure y'all trade. Y'all if I don't know what it means, right there in the title, talking Ravens all every day. From your host Justin P and my MVP, $1 billion co-host, the lovely Miss Shannon Fitch. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the college games, MLB playoffs, WNBA playoffs, NBA preseason. We're sitting out here. The regular season starts next week, so enjoy that. Like I said, we'll be back Tuesday after the Monday night game. Redo our recap. Love y'all
Hmm.
guys. We out.
Good night. Bye, Justin.
Shannon.